dignité. Parce que c'est une déformation, je vais parler beaucoup, je ne dois pas parler. Every woman shall have the right to dignity inherent in human being and to the recognition and protection of her human and legal rights. Every woman shall have the right to respect as a person and to the free development of her personality. State parties shall adopt and implement appropriate measures to prohibit any exploitation or degradation of women. State party shall adopt and implement appropriate measures to ensure the protection of every woman's right to respect for her dignity and protection of women from all forms of violence, particularly sexual and verbal violence.
I would like now to call Sabrina Qureshi, who is a founding member of the well-acclaimed Million Women Rise and also a member of UK WILPF. Sabrina is involved with the World March of Women, which will be in Africa this year, in solidarity with victims of armed conflict.
Hello, wonderful women. It's a great honour to be here and at the launch of the African Women's Decade, 2010 to 2020. It is the time of women, and I do believe that we need to walk our talk. Million Women Rise, just to let you know, it's just a grassroots movement of women who believe together that we can end violence against women. If the violence is happening to women in Palestine, Iran, Iraq, Congo, Kenya, UK, London, it's in our solidarity together, and I know this message has already come, but really and truly together we can end violence against women. And I believe in what the doctor was saying earlier, that actually it is in the visioning of a world free of violence that we will get to the place that we want to be. It's a great honour that I'm reading the rights of life, integrity and security of the person in Article 4.
I will invite May again, the host of African Women Campaign Coordinator, to read an article.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is May Al-Haj, and I was born in the Sudan. In 1983, soon after my birth, my father delivered a stern warning to my mother. He said, "Do not ever mutilate our daughter." And luckily enough for me, my mother listened. I consider myself not only very lucky to have avoided the harmful practice that is female genital mutilation, but also very lucky to have had a concerned guardian. My father recognised the potential of some nonsensical cultural practices to influence the otherwise sound minds of individuals. There are females in the Sudan and all over Africa and throughout history who have not had anybody to champion and implement their rights as I had my father. States parties need to make themselves familiar with Article 5 of the Maputo Protocol and the elimination of harmful practices and legislate accordingly. States parties should view themselves as the concerned guardians of women and girls, championing their very basic human right to exist with the full anatomy they were intended to have.
Welcome, Berta. Thank you very much.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's quite surprised to be called over. That's why you see there is Miss Staton. I'd like to say thank you very much to Marie-Claire for inviting me here. And I support the work of African women. I used to be the CEO of Women of Africa, Deputy CEO for Women of Africa for a short while. And then I went on to find an organization I've been in the TV industry for 5 years, and I do campaign and lobby for women's rights, and I was at the UN a few years ago, not a few years actually, a couple of years ago, campaigning for women. I believe that the media plays a very important role in promoting the issues facing many women in these days, and especially African women. And so my support here is to read this article in support, as well as media support, for the women's, or African Women's Decade. And I'd like to thank you all for honoring me to read this. So, Article 8 says access to justice and equal protection before the law. Women and men are equal before the law and shall have the rights to equal protection and benefit of the law. State parties shall have or take all appropriate measures to ensure effective access by women to judicial and legal services, including legal aid, supports to local, national, regional and continental initiatives directed at providing women access to legal services, including legal aid. And thank you very much.